of Birmingham and the Black Country is
BBC Radio WM.
This lady has sorted 150 matches since lockdown, so she's a real-life matchmaker, especially in these unprecedented times. Sarah Payne is the events manager for speeddata.co.uk. That's speeddata.co.uk. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Sarah Payne. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Are you feeling all weekendy, Sarah Payne?
I sure am, despite the rain.
Sarah, I'm quite surprised that business is booming, because it is for you. Because I kind of thought at the moment people can't date. I mean, if you're single, you just say, you know what, I'll wait until all this is over. But you actually had a Zoom event last night. Tell us about that.
We sure did. We had a Zoom speed dating event yesterday evening for the age range of 38 to 55. It went so well. We had 10 dates, so 10 males got to meet 10 females. And everyone gets to mix and mingle in the beginning of the Zoom room, and they're greeted by our host, and we'll have a little catch-up and some icebreakers thrown out there. And then they'll do one-on-one dates. So instead of the guys moving from table to table, as it normally would be in our offline events, they're moving from room to room on the Zoom app. So it was hugely successful, and hopefully we'll get some matches from it.
Oh, that's good. I mean, you worry with Zoom, don't you, sometimes? Because, you know, when it freezes in like an unflattering angle. It happens to me, and I've got about 16 chins. I mean, that would be my luck if I was on one of these speed dating things. I'd be like, next, ding, 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 ding. Because usually you do your speed dating in a busy bar with lots of atmosphere and drinks, but you're doing it all virtually. So they go in and they chat. Do you think it's easier to do it online? Do you think it kind of breaks down barriers online? Or do you think you can never replace doing it face-to-face in person?
Absolutely. I mean, under the circumstances, this is really our only option. And I think it really has built people's confidence, because, you know, it can be quite daunting to go speed dating for the first time in a busy bar. You know, people can see you, can hear the person's conversation next to you. Whereas actually the beauty of doing it virtually, you have your own private date. There's just the two of you. No one can hear what's going on. You've got that sort of confidence because you're in your own home, you're in your own comfort. You know, if you want to wear your slippers, you can. And so I think it's definitely, you know, the way forward, especially with winter coming anyway. People prefer to stay home anyway. So I think it's just a great way to keep people meeting, you know, pandemic or winter.
I imagine this day and age, I mean, even before COVID, do people, you know, back in the day, people would meet in a bar. We had people on earlier on saying the way they met their other halves and stuff. It must all be online now, mainly, mustn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all of our events are now virtual. We've never actually done online events. We've been a company for 18 years now. We've only ever done offline events.
Yeah.
Because we're big advocates of helping people to find love in real life. So this is all new to us, but we're doing better than ever. We're booming with our online events at the moment, our virtual events.
Yeah.
And I think they're here to stay, you know, whether we get, you know, the opportunity to get set back up offline and back in the bars. And I think virtual events are definitely here to stay. And, you know, going forward will be part of our future, I think.
BBC Radio Leeds.
I guess the virus has affected so many areas of our lives. And our love lives have kind of fallen victim to lockdown and social distancing, with conventional dating it's become almost impossible, hasn't it? So if you're looking for love, my next guest can actually help. Former speed dater who now helps others find their love online. Sarah Payne, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Dating events have risen by 400% since 2014. So it's like 6 years. Wow. It's really jumped, hasn't it?
It really has. And I think dating in the last sort of 10 years has really changed. I think it's so much more popular now. I think people are settling down older than they would have 10 years ago. Mm. And I think dating is almost like a new trend, isn't it? It's sort of taken up that people want to date now. They want to meet multiple people. Whereas I think 10 years ago, people met someone and that's it. They just stayed with that one person.
Yeah, I was reading that says here about, obviously because of COVID and stuff like that, more than half of people admitted to being reluctant to meet up for dates due to the fear of catching and spreading the virus. So lots are turning to events like, you know, the speed dating event on Zoom that you're talking about. And this is why, because you're in the safety of your own home as well. You don't have to have that awkward thing where you tell your friends, if I text you with this word, come and rescue me or whatever, or escaping out of toilet windows or anything like that. Not that I've ever done that.
Absolutely.
Radio Derby.
So
this lunchtime, we're talking about how the pandemic has changed dating. Maybe you're finding it tough to find the right person or have given up altogether. Well, fear not, because we are here to help. Virtual dating expert and event manager at Speed Data, Sarah Payne, is here to tell us how we can improve our love lives during these strange times. And strange they are, Sarah, aren't they?
They really are. What a strange time we're in.
There'll be people listening now, Sarah, who are quite wary of online dating and trying to find that special someone virtually because, of course, they've heard of catfishing. I mean, let's talk about that. Give us some reassurance. How do you ensure that a person you're talking to on a dating app is actually who they say they are?
In terms of our online events, you don't get to see anyone or meet anyone before. You just meet in the real life moment. So there's no chance of the catfishing to happen. You would see each other on screen, and that would be the first time. And what you see is what you get. But I think there is a huge problem with catfishing in terms of online dating. But if I was you, I would definitely recommend doing a FaceTime date before you meet in real life, and then you can always be reassured that that person that you are speaking to is who they say they are. But also, I think as well, I've heard a lot now of sort of the lockdown look, almost catfishing of obviously people have been secluded for 3 months and might not look what they did post lockdown, with the barbers being closed and the beauty salons being closed. So I think that's a new phrase that we're going to get from the pandemic, as well as catfishing, is maybe not looking like you would, keeping as sharp with your haircut or your nails and hair being done, etc.
There's no excuse there, Sarah. Come on. If you're looking for love, you make an effort. If that person's not going to make an effort, I'm not going to bother.
I know that'd be a strike for me.
It really would. It really would. I mean, I'm not suggesting it's all black and white, but come on. I mean, there are things you can do. I mean, put a hat on if you're that worried about your hair.
Absolutely.
Do you think, Sarah, that people who are already in relationships may have struggled as well through lockdown?
Absolutely. I think this has been a huge test to couples, challenges. People have moved in together so much quicker, because of the lockdown and not being able to see each other. I think the divorce rate apparently has gone up. But I think this is a huge compliment to your relationship. If you can survive something like lockdown and a pandemic with your other half, I think you can survive anything, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Sarah, great to talk to you this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. That's a virtual dating expert, Sarah Payne.